Right up until Trailblazer level 50, I've been messing with damage over time teams. Think Burn, Shock, Wind Shear, and Bleed. And outside of Simulated Universe, they aren't looking too hot. Inside Simulated Universe, where you get insane buffs on whatever path you go, anything can look amazing. But it's when you are outside that it really counts. When you are ready to challenge Memory of Chaos and bet all of your marbles is when you earn the right to brag and show off. And unfortunately, D.O.T teams ain't cutting it right now. And I'm going to tell you not only why I think so, but also why Mommy Kafka probably can't save them either. First, this is the team I've been messing with. Fire MC equipped with Trend of the Universal Market, which gives him a 100% base chance to burn whatever enemy attacks him. Sampo, because his ultimate can enhance dots and he is one of the rare few who can inflict a dot with his basic attack, which makes him very skill point efficient. Serval, who can inflict shock, and Himiko, who can inflict burn. You can also use Hulk to build a similar team if Himiko is the one you lack. Anyways, everyone on this team can inflict a dot in some form, but here is the harsh truth. Dots kind of suck. Yes, they inflict bonus damage that penetrates the enemy shield, but you have to give up too much to make them effective for very little payoff. And my first major problem with them are the stats you have to give up. Like it or not, you will have to build effect hit rate on all of your characters that inflict dots. Because 100 base chance doesn't mean it always inflicts the dot since enemies have resistances. So without effect hit rate, you can fail to apply the dot in the first place. And if you have to build effect hit rate, you are probably giving up another stat that would be beneficial, be it crit, attack, speed, energy recharge. My point is, something has to give to fit in effect hit rate. Next point I want to make is that dots only do damage on the enemy turn. If the enemy is too fast, they get rid of them quickly even if you were successful in implanting them in the first place. Or the opposite, the enemy is too slow and you most likely kill them before the dot does anything. And probably the worst of the bunch, the dot doesn't kill the enemy and they kill you instead. In my opinion, it would just be better to kill the enemy outright than try to build and depend on dots. And if your counter argument is to just let dots be bonus damage and don't rely on them, then that is not a dot team. My next problem is Sampo. A lot of people are hailing him as some sort of dot lord and that Kafka and him are going to be all powerful. But let me tell you, as someone who uses Sampo, the best thing about him isn't his ultimate, which has the chance, no I said chance, to increase dot damage. The best thing about Sampo is actually his skill, which can eat through enemy shields. The next best thing about him are the light cones he has access to, being an Nihility unit. And the final thing about him that is good and better than his ultimate is his ability to inflict dots with his basic attack. His ultimate is just a bonus, and if you ask me, a scam, which suits Sampo perfectly. I think Sampo is a very strong character, but it isn't for his ultimate. And people will need to accept this sooner or later. But this brings me to my last point. I haven't looked up Kafka's kit since she hasn't been released yet, so anything could change. But unless all of her skills copy the effects of the best blessings from Simulated Universe, there is no way Kafka is going to make dot teams any better than they already are. If I had to bet, I believe Kafka will just be a strong standalone character, and dots will just be complementary damage if anything. Now I do not believe she is going to suck. I think Hoyoverse is too smart to release her whack. But I really don't think Kafka is going to make dot teams better. And if you ask me to bet right now before seeing her final kit but knowing it revolves around dots, I'm betting that Daddy Jing is going to be the better lightning DPS. If her kit ends up fully revolving around dots to bring out her full potential, that is going to be one very highly specialized team and might not even be worth the investment. But this Kafka part is just speculation for now. To close out this video, let me just reiterate my point. Dots aren't that good. They are okay, but they aren't that good, and it is going to take a lot to make them good outside of Simulated Universe. More than I think Mommy Kafka can bring. Finally, I hope I'm wrong and Kafka turns out to be super amazing and dots rise in power. And if you think I'm totally wrong now and just have skill issues, feel free to blast me in the comments. Until next time, my name is Kujets and you can expect more Star Rail videos in the future.